Good way to pass the guard in MMA. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach up, both hands are going to go to his throat. I'm now going to leap forward and bypass his hips. His hips have a line going across this way. I need to get my feet to go past his hips. So both hands on his throat to get his attention on his throat, and I pop up and bypass his hips. I'm getting his hips off the floor. This makes it more difficult for him to work on submissions and more difficult to work on takedowns. This is my position now to start following through with my ground and pound. Defensively, if he stays like this and just covers up, he's going to get destroyed. So what he needs to do is he needs to put his knees into my body. When he does and now starts to arch up, you can see that's his best defense. Now, what I have to be concerned with is I don't want to keep my feet side by side once he starts to unlock. If I do, he could conceivably grab my ankles and take me down. Basic, but it can work. So as soon as his legs unlock and his knees come in, I'm going to step 1 foot back to get my balance back. I'm now going to get a hold of his legs, and my hips are going to extend forward. Why extend my hips forward? If he starts trying to kick me at any given time, when my hips come forward, it's harder to hit my head. It's also easier to pass the guard, because as soon as his hips come forward, if I wanted to go straight to the ground, my hips can allow me to bypass those legs. I'm going to try to get control of his legs. I'm going to go one direction and then quickly to the other, sticking my foot deep underneath his back. Why? It's harder for him to turn back into me. So what if he turns away from me? That'd be awesome, because now, again, he's in big trouble, and I can take his back, go for submissions, or continue with the ground and pound. So get that foot deep inside the back and immediately hit. If you immediately start hitting, again, it's going to keep them from turning back into me, which is where he really wants to go in the first place. What can also be done from here, same process. Lean on the throat, bypass, start the ground and pound. As soon as he opens to defend, 1 foot back. I go one direction to fake him. That's going to make him start to throw in the opposite direction. And I step in. When I step in, the knee that comes in between the legs, that same sidearm is going to hug his knee nice and tight. And from here, I'm going to sit back. When I sit back, I'm going to sit straight back and pass my leg over the top, hooking my feet. Now, I'm leaning towards the leg that I just sat back with. And I'm going to scoot up until I can wrap. His toes get caught in my armpit. I'm going to wrap up underneath and lock my hands nice and tight around his Achilles. So while leaning inside, I'm nice and tight. I lock the Achilles, and now I'm going to rotate up and back, extending my hips into the inverted heel hook. Once again, bypass up, start the ground and pound. He starts to defend. I get the legs, one direction to the other. As his legs start to come back in, catch the leg. Sit back, over the top. Scoot back, really leaning into that leg. Hook up underneath the Achilles and extend into the submission. Another angle. Get your legs to bypass their hips. Lean in on the throat, pop up bypass. Start your ground and pound. When they release, open. Grab the legs, hips start to extend forward. Go one direction to the other, foot deep in under the back, and again into your ground and pound. If you decide to sit back on the heel hook, one direction to the other, catch the leg. Knee in between the knees, hug. Sit, pass your leg over the top. Scoot up until the toes fall right into your armpit. Hug nice and tight on the Achilles, lock the hands, extend your hips, up and back, and get your submission. One more angle. Lean into the throat, extend up. Round and pound. Foot back. One side, come in, catch. Sit, pass over the top. Scoot in and stay nice and tight. Keep all your weight on top of that leg. Lock and extend. Up and back, 45-degree angle, and push your hips up and rise up into the submission.